Okay, so I think everybody's here and everybody is welcome to join after. So, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. My name is Dusan Matic, and I would like to welcome you all to the webinar, Breathe and Change Your Life, Stress Management for the Digital Age, organized by MCIS Language Solutions. Before we start, let me tell you that due to the size of the group attending the webinar session, the microphone and the webcam functions will not be enabled. If you have any technical difficulties, please type in the chat box below. However, if you have any questions regarding the content of the webinar, please type your questions in the Q&A box below, and our guest speaker will try to answer them at the end of the presentation. This webinar will be recorded, but without any information about attendees. That means that your private and personal information will not be recorded. The recording of the webinar will be posted on MCIS Language Solutions YouTube channel. Okay, so let us begin. How can we stay calm and balanced in this time of uncertainty, frequent changes, and information overload? Well, this webinar will teach you how to use your breath to rebalance, to quieten your mind and your body by freeing your breath. Our guest speaker today is Gabriela Bocanete. She's an interpreter trainer and holistic health coach. She helps clients with stress issues, brain and digestive health problems, and fatigue conditions get their life back and achieve gentle resilience. Her gong and sound therapy sessions are known as the Brain Spa. I'm so excited to have Gabriela today. Welcome, Gabriela. We are so happy to have you here today. Welcome.
Thank you, Dushan, and welcome, everybody. Welcome. I'm really pleased that you have joined us today, and we're going to have some fun and we're going to breathe together. So this day and age, everybody's stressed, especially in the last year. This is going to be like an oasis and also an educational experience to understand more about your breath and how powerful it is. This is a free tool that we all have built in, and we need to use it more for our health and well-being. So, as Dushan said, I'm a conference interpreter and trainer, and I've become a holistic health coach after qualifying as a yoga teacher about 12 years ago. I'm also a qualified personal performance coach and hypnotherapist. I studied also meditation and yoga nidra and nutritional therapy, how to use food as medicine. And I've been a speaker and a trainer on these topics for quite a few years. I enjoy speaking in front of large audiences, and I'm pleased that I can see there's a large number of attendants today. Yes, this motivates me and inspires me. So I'm also a practitioner of sound therapy, and you are going to get a small taster of what sound therapy can do for you at the end of this webinar when I'm going to instruct a guided relaxation. So a beautiful special treat at the end so that you can continue your day or your evening, depending where you are in the world, with a beautiful, calm state of mind and in harmony with the rest of the universe. So I'm the creator of the Brain Spa, which is a gong and sound therapy session combined with a beautiful yoga nidra meditation, which is the most easy to do meditation technique because I do all the work for the participants. You just need to bring your body. So let's start. Is stress the new normal? And this kind of question or a variation of it has been going on in the last few years. Even before the current pandemic, the World Health Organization called stress the epidemic of the 21st century. And now this year, of course, the epidemic of fear and of uncertainty has taken over as well. So there's a compound level of stress again with our lives being disrupted in such a way, with our roles being mixed together. We have to work from home. Some of us work from the bedroom. So all those roles separations that we used to have in the past have now disappeared, and it's very stressful for some people. And I think it's stressful for all of us, but some of us have this resilience that I like to speak about, gentle resilience. So adapting and being flexible enough to adapt and having all those tools that I'm going to give you today. So the breath, the power of breath is one of the most important tools to deal with stress. Um, and many authors and experts talk about the information overload, but also, again, it is compounded with work overload, sugar, and sitting on our backsides all day overload, which makes things worse for our health. And also, especially because there's more pressure and less support for us, we have to understand and use all the technology. We have to do everything that in the past was done by other people specialized, like the travel agents in this example. Today, we're expected to do everything and to know everything about all sorts of technology. And this, again, adds another layer to that cake of stress that sits upon us, right? So it is actually an epidemic, and it is a generalized problem of public health. And that is why also the statistics of mental health have been skyrocketing. And that is why we need to acquire all these tools. So in the UK alone, it is thought that between 60 and 80% of GP consultations are related to stress. What's the situation in your country is a rhetorical question. Just maybe you can reflect on this later. And let's see, how stressed are you? We have this poll. Please reply. What stresses you the most? Let's see. Many people started with working from home. Some people are stressed by technology, family issues. So let's see. You still have a few seconds to answer this poll. Okay, all right. I think most of you have answered. Anybody else wants to reply now? Okay, I'm going to end it. And we have 36% working from home, the isolation, 20% technology, and 43% family issues. So all of these things that I've been mentioning are stressing us. So let's see, we have two more questions for later. How stressed are you, really? And we've seen something between 40% about all these reasons. But what stresses you on a daily basis, and how has stress been historically in the evolution of mankind, man as a species? So in the past, our physiology and our stress response in our nervous system used to be triggered by real danger, right? If you throw your mind back to cavemen, to Neanderthals, or whatever hominids used to live on Earth in the distant past, there was real danger. They were in life-threatening situations. So that must have been stressful, right? And it was a very high stress for a short time, because the person used to run away, go back to the cave, and then hug a loved one or sit by the fire or draw something on the cave walls to document the experience, or just simply to catch their breath, right? So a very high peak of stress for a very short time, because you were either eaten or killed or you escaped, right? There was not many options in between. These days, what happens is that our stress response is triggered so many times by the internet, all sorts of alerts, notifications, and so many things that trigger the stress response in the body. Although it's not a very high stress level, it's not life and death. It's not life-threatening, but we are triggered. So triggered all the time, constantly. And that is the worst thing that can happen to us, and it is actually happening, because there's a low level of inflammation by all these triggers, one after the other, never stopping. Even though it's a low level of stress, it is constant, and that is the most dangerous for the health. It causes this low-level inflammation, which in turn causes all modern syndromes and diseases, and it causes inflammation in the brain, all sorts of things that doctors cannot yet diagnose correctly, because all these syndromes and modern diseases like autoimmune conditions, which are over 60, they have overlapping symptoms, and it's not very clear from what a person presents, which of them. So they are misdiagnosed very often. And so it's in our hands. It's really in our hands. So this is what I want, and I always try to teach people. You are responsible of your own health. We cannot give this power of make me healthy to somebody else, because they can't. They can help. Sometimes they just suppress the symptoms. Sometimes they help you a little bit, but the cause, the root cause, only you can control or avoid, or with healthy lifestyle and a holistic healthy lifestyle, you can avoid to become full of inflammation, brain inflammation, and all these things that I'm describing. So let's see what is breath work. So breath work in yoga, it is called pranayama, which until recently was translated from Sanskrit by breath control, controlling your breath. Well, in the latest studies and latest trends now, the approach is that you don't control your breath, but you're freeing up your breath. You are allowing your breath to become free. So, like everything in life, it is difficult before it is easy, right? And it comes with practice. But ideally, you should have a free breath all of the time to keep you in this calm state of mind, in the calm and gentle resilience that I talk about. So because most of us are linguists, I'm imagining, what expressions can you think of in your language that are related to breath, breathing, and have these got spiritual connotations? I've just put some examples in English. And the word spiritual has the same root from Latin, respirare, right? So inspiration, expiration, to inspire, to expire, a breath of fresh air, breathtaking, breathless. I'm sure in your own languages, if your mother tongue is not English, you have beautiful expressions and words and phrases about breath that are also spiritually linked, because this idea of breathing has always been linked to ideas of spiritual traditions. So we can have question 2 now, if Dushan can. Yes. So this is a question about how you de-stress. What do you do to de-stress? And we have 3 options: go for a walk, or walk the dog, so go out, basically, yoga, Pilates, or exercise, have a drink or 2 after work. Let's see. Okay, so I think I can end the poll. And yes, so 54% go out, which is great because nature is so healing. Nature helps you. It's very easy if you have a place to go and be in nature just outside. It's very easy to come back to a calm state of mind. It's de-stressing, is calming, but also regenerating. Also, it makes you feel connected of this whole beautiful nature on earth. Also, exercise is important, and I always recommend yoga. If you've never done it, go to several beginners classes to see which one is most suitable to you before committing to a course. And having a drink, of course, it depends what kind of drink and how many you're having. Okay, so we all have our coping mechanisms. So now let's do the first exercise. And I want to just a word of caution. So if you are pregnant, if you suffer of panic attacks, if you've ever had epilepsy, or if you now suspect or have a lung disease, you don't do this, please. And the rest of us can do it. It is called stress and de-stress. So I'm going to stress you and de-stress you. So I want you to focus on what happens in the body. I want you to feel what happens in the body in the first part, which will be a very quick breath. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to stand up, and if you want to stand up, stand up. If not, you can sit. But if you're sitting, please place both your feet on the floor or support it. Uncross your legs, definitely, and just be upright. So your back as upright as possible. And I'm going to demonstrate first, and then we'll do it together. So it's a very quick breath. Like this. So now let's do it together. And it doesn't matter if your nose is blocked for some reason, you can breathe through your mouth, but it's that rhythm, very quick. And we won't be doing it for long, between 30 seconds and a minute. And let's do it together. I want you to feel what you feel in your body as you do this. Okay, so anybody has noticed anything? And I can't see the chat, so if any of my co-hosts can read, if anybody shares what they felt in the body as you did this very quick breath. So
We
what
do have a
happens?
comment. Lungs fill up fast, a bit hard to breathe.
Yes.
Lighter body, heart racing. My heart went faster and I got anxious. Dizziness, anxiety. I got dizzy.
Exactly. So thank you very much. That's exactly what happens. So this is what happens. I stressed you and I didn't do anything to you. I didn't insult you. I didn't swear at you. I didn't kick you. You just breathed in a wrong way. So very quickly. So when you are in a hurry, when you are overwhelmed with lots of things to do, your breath becomes superficial. And this was superficial breath practice, right? And what happens in the body, an excellent, well observed for the people who said, you had a constriction in the chest. Some people feel their anxiety and lightheadedness and a little bit dizzy. That's correct, because you don't receive enough oxygen, right? So I wanted you to feel that in your own body, to realize how easy it is, if you don't breathe correctly, how easy it is to become stressed. So your body, for those people who had that kind of constriction here around the heart and feeling anxious, your system, your whole system was already triggering the stress response. And what happens in the stress response? You don't have to stand up, but I'm going to show you something. What happens in the stress response is everything, all the resources in the body come to the center and up, because I have to be ready to fight or to run away. So never mind digestion, never mind reproduction or other things that are not considered vital. So those functions are totally shut down, but everything in the body comes in and up because I need to run away or start fighting somebody. So you see how easy it is to experience the stress response and to observe it and to notice the consequences of shallow breath. So shallow breath. So when you are in a hurry, and if anybody asks you an important question, don't reply until you've caught your breath. So when you need to make an important decision, don't make your decision after you've been running or arguing or in any situation where your breath is shallow, because you're not thinking properly. You're not in your power. So you want to catch your breath first and then go and answer an important question or make an important decision or whatever is that you have to do that is important, right? So now, and I think you've caught your breath already, but let's do a little bit of just slow breathing. And don't worry, you don't have to count or anything. Just sit up straight. Remember lifting from the sternum, allowing the shoulders to be soft and down. Don't bring them to the ears. Don't bring the head forward because the head is heavy. So the ears are in the same plane as the shoulders, back, chin. Maybe do a double chin for me to lengthen the back of the neck. Yes, can you feel that difference? I bet you can. Okay, so now you are again a nice person in the flow, calm. And what a blessing to have something so powerful built in, right? Built in. So, what is the most important muscle in your body? And again, if you can quickly reply, maybe Dushan can read one or two, not too many. What is the most important muscle in your body? And in the past, when I was teaching this and asking this question, interpreters.
You're getting a lot of the same answers. Heart muscles.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So in the past, interpreters said the tongue. The people said the brain, but of course the brain is not a muscle, right? Yes, the heart is very important. But even the heart depends on this other one. That is my favorite. And it is the diaphragm. So a diaphragm, and I call it my inner muscle, my built-in muscle, and you have one as well. And you need to use it frequently.
Gabriela, I just want to say they're both Nahima and who said the diaphragm. So yes, excellent. She said it. Yes.
Excellent. She knows her anatomy. Yes.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. So now let's again sit up straight, relax the shoulders, bring the head, the back of the head back, open, allow the shoulders to be soft. Maybe shake your arms if you're a bit tight in your shoulders. feet on the floor, not crossing the legs, and the full yogic breath. At the end of the presentation, and you will receive this, there's a link with the demonstration lying down, which is a bit easier to see because there's a wave that you want to experience. But here we are. Let's see if we feel the wave as well sitting. So we're not going to go lying down. And I want you to place one hand on your chest and one hand on your tummy. And I'm going to stand up again. Feel free to stand or sit. And the 3-part breath is also called the yogic breath because the lungs have 3 lobes. So we have the one that we use in the first exercise with stressing, with very shallow, superficial, the upper lobe, mid lobe, and lower lobe, which comes around here at the bottom of the lungs. But because that is a bit subtle, and of course the left lung has a smaller mid lobe because there's a heart, so we're going to use the whole trunk to feel this wave. And so the second hand can go on your tummy, around your belly button or further up. And I'm going to demonstrate first, maybe from the side you can observe better. So what happens, and I want you, if you are wearing a belt or something very tight around your waist, to just unbutton it or free your tummy from whatever, if it's tight, right? So when I breathe in, look at my lower hand, and let's see if you can observe this wave. So I'm breathing in, and then I'm breathing out, and look at my upper hand, and then lower hand. So there's this wave. So let's do it together. You can even have both hands around here, so just under your ribs, and bring the air first to the lower part. So breathing in, and then if you visualize 2 bottles of water, and the breath, we're going to use this metaphor of the water. So the breath, if it was heavy like water, it would go to the bottom first, right? So that's the idea. And then feel the rest. So breathing in, expanding you can also place the hands laterally on your lower ribs or just underneath the lower ribs, and then breathing into the hands. And after you've breathed here, you breathe here and you breathe here. So there's that wave. And it doesn't have to be perfect. First time, don't worry. But just that idea of the 3-part breath, and freeing your tummy in any case. So if you want to be healthy, you don't need to wear anything tight around your abdomen, right? Or around your waist. Because especially when you work and you're sitting down for long hours, you are already in a half-closed position, right? You're more open when you're standing up. I hope you work standing up as well sometimes, right? Not only sitting. So you want to have a soft tummy that can rise and fall, and rise with the inhalation and fall gently with the exhalation. So it's not like ballerinas who were never allowed to stick their tummy out. No, it's normal people. Sorry. It's people that want to breathe easily, and you have to get into this habit of allowing the tummy to. It's like babies. Have you ever seen a baby breathe, or a cat or a dog? Yes, they're born like that. And then we teach them, oh, don't stick your tummy out or whatever, who knows. But again, coming back to a full yogic breath, and a full breath in general has to also engage the abdominal wall, right? And what happens with the beautiful masseur inside? So the diaphragm has this shape when it's relaxed. When we're breathing out, it comes to this parachute shape. And when we breathe in, it travels down gently and not in the middle. So in the middle, it's very near the heart, so it doesn't pull on the heart, but the edges of the parachute travel, and it flattens gently, and it gives you a nice gentle massage. That's why I call it my inner masseur, and you can now call it that as well. And it is also very well connected, right? Let's see how well connected the diaphragm is. Did you know that your iliacus and psoas muscles, which are responsible of lifting your legs when you walk, are connected to the diaphragm? I bet most of you didn't. So now you know. And also, we don't have time to interact too much now, but what is on top of the diaphragm and what is underneath the diaphragm, if you think about it, it's all the vital organs. So it is actually affecting, if we breathe correctly and if we use the diaphragm when we breathe deeply, we are actually affecting everything else. So it's the most powerful. Yes, we couldn't live without the heart, but even the heart benefits if we use the diaphragm correctly. Okay, so I said earlier that it doesn't matter if you breathe through your nose or through your mouth. It's not quite true. So it is important to breathe through your nose because the nasal cavity and the turbinates play this very important functions by filtering, warming, and humidifying the air. So we have these sinuses and sinuses that produce nitric oxide, which is a kind of oxygen that diffuses to the bronchi and to the lungs and produces bronchodilatory and vasodilatory effects. So what does that mean, bronchodilatory and vasodilatory? It means it relaxes tissues. So what that means then is that our blood pressure is a little bit slower and everything is a little bit more relaxed in the chest, right? So there are studies that indicate that nitric oxide may also help reduce respiratory tract infections by inactivating viruses. So it is very important, if you can, to breathe through your nose. So of course, if you have a physical blockage, you may want to have it checked and maybe resolved if possible, because it's worth it. It's not the same quality of breath when you breathe through the mouth. We all breathe through the mouth sometimes when we sing, when we talk, when in other situations, right? When you exercise and so on. It's not bad for you, but it's not as beneficial as breathing through your nose. And so just a thought to breathing through the nose. Okay, so this is the most powerful pranayama, so breath technique that I'm going to teach you today because our time together is short. So I'm going to demonstrate first. You have all the instructions here, but I'm going to demonstrate to gain some time. So again, it's easier for me to stand. You can stand as well if you want. And bringing the hands underneath your bra line, ladies, so lower ribs. elbows pointing backwards if that is possible for you. And then you imagine this accordion. So breathing and bringing the air to your hands opens the accordion, right? And listen to what my breath sounds like. And the sound is produced by the fact that I partially close my back of the throat. So actually, when you produce that sound, it's already half closed. So you almost like a half snore sound, but it's like with the waves of the ocean. So Ujjayi in Sanskrit means victorious. Why? Victorious breath helps you be more resilient and more endurance. It gives you more endurance, either mental, emotional, or physical. So whenever you feel a bit tired, you practice this Ujjayi pranayam for a few minutes, and there is no counterindication. But again, if you have a lung disease, don't do it, right? So if you, let's do it now. So the rest of us, hands on the lower ribs, elbows generally pointing backwards, shoulders relaxed, and bringing the air to your hands and producing this sound of the ocean waves. And again, allow the tummy to be soft. And even if you breathe through your mouth, you can do it. Okay. So Ujjayi Pranayam is a very powerful breathing technique that you can use to gain more energy, to endure more, to last for longer in whatever activity you need to do when you want to finish something. Or, of course, I'm not suggesting that you never rest. I'm suggesting that this can help you with a little bit more energy for a little bit longer, right? You need to listen to your body and rest when it needs rest, and rest deeply. So let's see now. I have some practical tips for your respiratory health and immunity in these days when we're all threatened by the virus. So it's simple things that are that work, like cleaning your inner nostrils gently, wash them in the shower, or using a neti pot. A neti pot, it looks like an Aladdin's lamp. If you Google it, you find pictures of neti pot. It's unusual at the beginning because you pour through one nostril and the water comes out through the other nostril, so you need to bend over your sink. I have a video that I've put the link here, talking about these practices and similar ones that are also useful. Here I'm mentioning other tips like using essential oils, peppermint, rosemary, and spices to help open the airways. And of course, keeping hydrated is important, not eating too much dairy because it creates a lot of mucus that can affect negatively your respiratory system. It becomes clogged. Herbal teas, yes, herbal tea is not piping hot, but not very cold either. So ideally, you should always have room temperature drinks or lukewarm. And as I said, watch my video when you can. Oral hygiene is very important, and practices that come from Ayurveda or Hatha Yoga, like tongue scraping, oil pulling, and never underestimate the importance of massaging your gums, because in the mouth and in the gums there are lymph nodes as well, and the lymphatic system helps detox the body. So these are very practical tips that you can, it's not expensive to do, and most are free. And there are additional resources that I'm offering. So now we can take 2 or 3 minutes for questions. If you have any questions for me at this point, you will have my contact details, and you can write to me later as well. If anybody has a question now, please ask it now. We may be able to take 2 or 3 maximum. And then I have that beautiful treat that I said I would, guided relaxation with a little bit of sound.
Thank you, Gabriela. So the floor is open to questions. Please type your questions directly in the Q&A box below, so, or in the chat box below. Wherever you want to ask your question, you're more than welcome. So once again, the floor is open to question. Okay, we already have some questions, so let's start. So from Ayakomori, Gabriela, can stress manifest itself in the form of anger or lack of motivation? In a sense, you may find it harder to get out of bed than usual.
What was the first part of the question? Because it was in...
Can stress manifest itself in form of anger or lack of motivation? In a sense, you may find it harder to get out of bed than usual.
Definitely, yes, definitely. Because of what I was saying about working from home and this overlap of the lack of separation between roles and activities, right? It has messed us all up. So everybody was messed up and confused at the beginning. Some of us have more tools and practice them, others maybe less. And I want to say this, we don't have time today, but actually, there are more things that stress us, not just breathing inadequately. So what you eat can also be stressful. If you exercise a certain types of exercise that are not suitable for you or for your age or for your lifestyle, that can also be stressful. Of course, your relationships, and that is why I'm advocating for a holistic health approach. So I don't know you, but yes, stress can manifest in a lack of motivation and anger. And then again, if you practice these breathing practices, you will see some improvements. So give them a try, really. And then if you give them a try for 2 or 3 weeks and practice breathing exercises several times a day, whenever you have a moment, and then write to me and tell me how you feel. And if you still want to discuss things, we can.
Excellent. Thank you, Gabriela. We have 2 more questions. The question from Gordana: after taking a deep breath through my nose, I have the urge to yawn. Why is that so?
It's because your brain is not used to having so much oxygen. It's normal, don't worry. It's nothing bad. It's not bad for you. Yawn. It's okay, right? Or even sigh, like we're going to do in a minute. So it's not bad. Sometimes you are used to this superficial breath or not too deep breath, and the brain is not used to having lots of oxygen. And sometimes if you do this exercise, don't start doing them for long periods. So start with 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, and so, because your system is not used to having so much oxygen. You may feel lightheaded, and then you become worried about that, which in itself is not bad, but I want you to go gradually, please, to feel safe.
Excellent. And the last question: are you familiar with body flex breathing? What do you think about that?
No, sorry. Body flex?
Body flex breathing, yes.
No. There are lots of exercise systems, and I'm familiar with what is in traditional yoga, what is taught in hatha yoga and in qigong and in these oriental movement and energy systems that I've studied. So I've never come across that.
Thank you so much, Gabriela. These were the questions from the attendees. Thank you.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for me to relax you. So, sit with both your feet on the floor. If you want to even lie down, you can. I want you to not be interrupted for these about 15 minutes that we have. So turn off every notification, put your phone on airplane mode, and if you have a back support, use it at this time. Now, it's not so important now to sit upright, but to feel comfortable and supported. And start by just taking 1 or 2 sighs. And feel what happens in the body when you sigh. So, if it's okay, close your eyes. That is easier for you your mind and your awareness can go inside more easily if you are with your eyes closed. Of course, if you are in a safe place. One more sigh and feel how everything drops. So this is again something that you can use when you want to calm yourself quickly. Just paying attention to the out breath for a few moments and giving yourself permission to sigh and to voice your sighs. Bring your awareness now to the top of your head, the crown of your head, and just visualize a beautiful aura of light in your favorite color. And enjoy that beautiful light for a moment, and then I'll leave it there on the crown of your head and come with your awareness to your forehead and temples, releasing the tension that you may have been holding, your eyebrows and your eyebrow center, releasing the tension in your third eye in between your eyebrows. And even with your eyes closed, you can rest your eyeballs deep into the eye sockets. Allow them to take a break deep into the eye sockets. Allow your eyelids to be softly and gently closed. Allow your nose to take a break as well, from the base of the nose to the tip of the nose. And inside your mouth, just open at the back of your mouth. Allow some space between the teeth at the back of your mouth. Don't close your jaws. Don't clench your jaws. Just allow them. Even though your lips are gently closed, you can still keep that space between your jaws inside your mouth, especially between the back teeth. And that way you can allow the throat and everything inside the mouth to relax as well. You can observe your breath without necessarily controlling it, just observing the natural breath, the natural rhythm of your breath, inhalation and exhalation. And by the sheer observing, the breath becomes smoother, becomes a little bit deeper, a little bit longer, and a little bit more settled actually. So now you are already starting to relax and coming with your awareness to the front of your neck, in front of your throat, at the base of your throat. Visualize for a moment that beautiful butterfly shaped thyroid and just give it the most beautiful colors, vibrant colors, beautiful. And then allow your shoulders to also release the tension and the upper back, all those responsibilities that you've been carrying around. You can set them aside for this moment of rest and allow your shoulders to be free, to soften. And then the upper arms, the elbows, and the forearms. And then from the collarbone deeper into the heart center, visualizing your beautiful heart and allowing it to just become a little bit softer, a little bit wider, maybe a little bit bigger without any effort, and just with this pleasant sensation of a large, beautiful heart full of love and compassion. And first of all, self-love and self-compassion. And then when it is full, it can overflow this beautiful love and compassion for the people around you as well, and for the whole of humanity. And further deeper and further down into the body behind your belly button. Allow the tummy and the whole of the abdomen to be soft as well, maybe bringing the awareness deep inside the abdomen to places where it hasn't been before, and allowing that beautiful love and compassion also to reach with the breath and the awareness, all the nooks and crannies of your lower abdomen, the hip area, even the buttocks, so all of the glutes, and then flowing down inside the legs, down inside the legs to the knees, and to the shins inside the calves, down to the ankles and feet, down inside every toe. So the whole body is soft. The back body is heavy and the front body is soft, almost melting with this beautiful love from your heart. And then as you've created that beautiful aura of light, I'd like you to expand it and to allow it to become like a beautiful cloud in your favorite colors, and to come down to encompass your head, your shoulders, your chest and your back, and further down to the waist area. And as it moves, it still warms you up, it softens, and it allows you to release any remaining tension or worry or simply stuff that needs to be released from your system. And then that beautiful cloud of warm awareness and healing breath is around your waist and further down, around your lower back, your hips, and your lower abdomen, your pelvic area as well, and your groin, softening and releasing whatever needs to leave the system. And then this beautiful cloud of healing awareness splits into two clouds that go down the legs, gently and slowly, softening and healing, smoothing out, releasing tension, and allowing your blockages or aches or pains to be released, to be cleared out of the system and given down to Mother Earth, who can recycle them into something more useful. And once you've done that, you can play with your beautiful clouds of healing awareness in any way you want. Maybe taking them up and down the spine, slowly and gently, or to any other place in your body that needs a little bit more attention and more love for a few more minutes. And feeling free and having released whatever you need to have anymore in your system. You can enjoy now just experiencing those beautiful clouds of light in beautiful bright colors, maybe in the colors of the rainbow or whatever colors you enjoy imagining that give you joy, that uplift your spirit, that make your heart sing, so you can visualize bursts of light like beautiful patterns in any shape, maybe spirals of light, maybe kaleidoscopic patterns, or whatever your mind likes to present to you now. And just enjoy that for a few more breaths, playing with those bursts of color in the most vibrant colors. That tickle your fancy, that lift your spirit, and that bring a smile in every tissue, in every organ, in every molecule. So start smiling with all your body now And just one more time, a big burst of colors. And then slowly you can deepen your breath, bringing your awareness to your seat, to your back body. Once again, deepening your breath, coming back, and coming back to a fully awake state once again. And don't rush anywhere now, because your whole system, your brain and your nervous system will still be in this beautiful, relaxed state. So I hope you don't have to drive anywhere. Take your time, and when you're ready, my presentation and my guided yoga nidra is complete. Now, thank you for listening. So I hope you enjoyed that, and let me know if you want to contact me on the social media, if you want to take a picture now of this last slide to see my contact details. If you're not in my network on either Facebook or LinkedIn, please get in touch, give me feedback, or let me know how it went for you. If you had a beautiful experience, I would love to hear from you. And I hope you use your breath, use it often, use your beautiful diaphragm. It is your very own private masseur or masseuse inbuilt inside of you, so it's free to use. Use these tools and your health will be improving. So thank you for your attention.
Dear everyone, this was phenomenal, Gabriela Bocanete. Dear Gabriela, thank you so much. This was so inspiring. And dear participants, thank you for attending. The recording of this webinar will be posted on MCIS Language Solutions YouTube channel. And I really want to thank our training team members, Samal and Paldon, for their support. Dear attendees, if you like to get in touch with Gabriela, you can email her directly or go to her website, gabrielabocanete.com. Or you can always email our training department at training@mcis.on.ca. Once again, thank you so much, Gabriela. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time. Stay strong and healthy and have a wonderful day. Thank you.